Warner Shows brings you 9 great events in 8 months across 7 counties. Join us in Newbury for an unforgettable 60s celebration. You can browse vehicles from leading dealers and enjoy exclusive show deals on motorhomes and accessories. Watch 60s favourites the Tremolos, the Merseybeats and the Pacemakers for just £7. Rally with us for 4 nights from only £38. And don't forget the National Park and Holiday Home show will also be on site all weekend. So book in advance today and save £10 on your camping pitch.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the 3rd DVD in the series. This month we're at Pentewan Sands here in Cornwall. It's a member of the Pentewan Park Group, which means it's been independently inspected by a member of our editorial team to make sure the standards are really high. And they are, of course. But there's one thing that sets this site apart, and that's the fact that it has a privately owned beach, just yards from all of the pitches. So we'll have a look at more of this 5-star site later.
Sarah and I are spending a week away in our camper van, photographing the Jurassic Coast of Dorset. I'm going to show some of the photographs that I took and hopefully give some tips as to how to improve your photography. The first location was the Cobb at Lyme Regis. Here you see the effect of a graduated neutral density filter. The beach at Seatown offers some great opportunities for photography, including using the Golden Cap as a focal point. And if you walk east from here towards West Bay, you get further opportunities for some great photographs of the coastline of the county. Sarah sat in the van and watched the sun go down whilst I was outside photographing the sunset at Kimmeridge Bay.
surely agree with me, it's a lovely campsite, isn't it? Now, let's go over to Peter Vaughan, MMM's road test editor and the editor of Which Motorhome magazine, who's going to reveal which motorhome has won the 2016 Fixed Double Bed Motorhome of the Year award.
And here's the Fixed Double Bed Motorhome of the Year. It's from Rapido, who've won this category before, and this 650 FF is from their 6 Series, the entry level lineup. FF means it's 4-4, so it's got a drop down double bed at the front. But let's have a look and see what else you get for your money. About 49 grand is a starting price in this case. Now Rapido offer quite a nice choice of fabrics for the lounge, and they also give you two different furniture finishes. This Montalcino, which is definitely the more modern look, or you can go for the more classical elegance. But whichever you choose, whatever colour scheme you go for, Rapidos still have a very nice comfortable feel about their lounge areas. They somehow feel quite inviting and homely. And in this vehicle you've got some nice touches too. This one's got the camera pack, which gives you this double din Pioneer unit, which shows the view to the back when you're reversing. And in that option for only £655 you also get the fly screen on the door and the cab blind, so it's a good value option. But what's really different about this vehicle is it's only 6.69 metres long, so it's nice and compact, easy to manoeuvre, but it's got 5 travel seats and you could potentially seat up to 5 people. Now certainly comfortably 4, because it's got fixed double bed at the back and this drop down bed over the lounge. You can also make a single bed across from the lounge seats themselves, and this inward facing seat converts to be a forward facing seat with a head restraint when you're on the road. Now the other 2 belted seats are on this classical half dinette L-shaped unit here, and Rapido have lowered the backrest on all their 2016 models to give a more open, more through view into the van, which definitely increases the feeling of space, especially in a relatively compact model like this. Now of course the downside of that, if you reduce the backrest seat height, rear passengers may be exposed to head injuries in an accident, so they've solved that with these more automotive style pop-up head restraints. So that's a really nice touch. It solves both aspects in one go. Now this isn't the biggest of kitchens, but it does pack in a lot. And remember, this is a vehicle that's got a lot in a relatively small body. 3 inline hob does free up a bit of worktop in front, and you've got a cooker hood as well, which you probably wouldn't expect at this sort of price level. Another feature that you probably wouldn't expect to see is the central locking for the 3 drawers. Now it's just a twist knob, it's not any fancy electrical thing, but they won't just spring open when you're travelling. There's bottle storage in there too, so French thinking about where to keep the red wine. And of course the white wine goes in this nice tall tower fridge, which will accommodate plenty of beer as well. The oven is mounted above the fridge. Now often we criticise that because if you're one of the shorter chefs of the planet, then it can be a bit high. But with this step in the floor, actually that step becomes a bonus, and now the oven is at a sensible height. Dinner's been served, all the pots have been put away. You put the kids to bed in the drop down at the front, and it's night night. You just slide a division across, all the way across the vehicle, and mum and dad have got privacy in the back half of the vehicle. And what a bed it is too. This offset island bed arrangement takes up a lot less space in the vehicle than the traditional design, where you've got the bed centrally and wardrobes on either side. And yet you've still got access around that side of the bed. You've got a nice little bedside shelf, and even a little bit of storage for some reading matter perhaps in there as well. His and hers reading lights, and the washroom's still nice and accessible even when the division's been pulled across. So you've got a proper ensuite for mum and dad here, and some nice touches. Now if mum wants to sit on the end of the bed and do her makeup, there's a little cover for the wash basin, nice big mirror, and slide that across and you've got plenty of room for all your makeup, your shampoos and so on. And these elasticated holders will keep things in place and stop them rattling en route. Wardrobes there, and the toilet and shower in one unit in the corner, so it's very good use of space. Now this one's a bit of a personal favourite. It's not too big, it's well made, it's got a lovely feel about the interior, everything you expect from a Rapido, but just with a bit better use of space than a lot of other island bed motorhomes. So a very worthy fixed bed motorhome of the year.
Great, thanks Peter. I can see where that won 2016 Fixed Bed Motorhome of the Year. It's sure to be a great success. Now, what we often get asked at MMM is advice on camper tyres. Camper tyres are tyres that are specifically made for motorhomes. So we're going to go over to MMM's technical editor, Peter Rosenthal. He's going to explain a little bit more about the tyres and also the importance of running them at the correct pressure.
One of the most important safety features on a motorhome is setting your correct tyre pressures. They're the only things in contact with the road, and it's absolutely critical to get this right. So how do you set your correct tyre pressure gauge? Well, the first thing is you need to know what pressure you're setting. Visit a weighbridge, measure each individual axle, then contact your tyre manufacturer armed with those weights. They will tell you what pressure to use. The other point to make is look at the maximum pressure on the sidewall. Although this is for the American markets, it's probably wise not to exceed that pressure. In this case, on a Fiat Ducato, it's 76 psi. First of all, you need an accurate gauge. There are various different kinds on the market. I've got two digital ones here and an analog one. Key thing to check is it goes up to about 100 psi. Not all of them do. Some of the car ones don't have sufficient range for motorhomes, so watch out for that. Personally, I favour the analog ones because they're always on. The digital ones tend to have battery issues, and you can 9 times out of 10 when you come back to it, you need a set of batteries. They're a pain. The only caveat with the analog ones are if you drop them, you can knock out the settings. So that's something to bear in mind. Okay, here's how you set your pressure. First of all, I'll get rid of digital meters and get the cap off. Now on this particular van, the tyre pressure should be 50 psi, we've worked out. So let's see what it actually is. Right, that's showing me 47 psi. That's a bit too low, so we need to give it a bit of wind. Okay, while you could go to a garage to top your tyres up, it's more helpful to carry your own compressor. You can get cheap ones such as this £5 one that plug into your cigarette lighter. However, they're noisy, not particularly good, don't last very long. You're far better off picking something like this up, which is a Ring Automotive RAC 900, and it was a previous MMM Best Buy winner. Has a separate airline. This makes it far more suitable for motorhomes, and the pump's quite powerful. This is the type I would recommend. Okay, so just connect it on. This kind of compressor, it needs to be connected directly to a battery. It comes with crocodile clips. This is too powerful for a cigar lighter. If you try and wire it into a cigar lighter, you'll melt your cigar lighter. And then it's just a case of switching it on. And watch the pressure gauge. Let's check the pressure. Okay, that's showing 58, so that's a bit much. We need to let some pressure out. Press the gauge until we've got bang on the right pressure. Always check the pressure on your gauge, not on the compressor itself. Okay, that's 50 bang on. It's important to replace the dust cap. If any of your dust caps are damaged or broken, replace them. They only cost pence and they stop debris damaging the valve or causing deflation. There's quite a lot of good tyre monitoring kits on the market at the moment. They're well worth investing in if you want to keep an eye on your tyres, but you do need to still remember to check your tyres manually with a gauge every now and again. Also, check your tyres are wearing evenly. If your tyres aren't wearing evenly, chances are your pressures are wrong, so check them.
Lovely, more great advice again from Peter. Now, I know some of you want a motorhome with a fixed bed, but would prefer twin singles rather than a double. So we're going to go over to Peter Vaughan, MMM's road test editor. He's going to explain and show us around the 2016 Motorhome of the Year with fixed single beds.
Now, our fixed single bed category award winner this year is from Pilote. It's this P650 GJ. Now, one of the things that's particularly special about it is it's only 6.5 metres long, actually 6.49 according to the brochure, which makes it just a smidge longer than an extra long panel van, and yet you've got a fixed single bed layout. Now, they also offer it in 2 specification levels, this Essential, spelt in the French way, or Sensation, which adds a bit more kit for a bit more money. Either way, you get a fine looking van. This one's got a few extra bits and bobs on it, like the silver cab, but starting price is under 43 grand, so the French have certainly got value for money well sharpened up for 2016. You've got this Hartle door with a window, and the entrance step is so low that this slide out electric step is almost superfluous. Access is nice and easy. Then the gas locker makes life simple too, because this fold down flap means that loading your gas cylinders in when it's changeover time will be a lot less like hard work. Some gas lockers are much higher up than that. Moving back, you've got these flush windows, which are a nice posh touch, perhaps you, well, certainly wouldn't expect at this price level. And then the GJ comes with a choice of bed height, so this is a low bed version. You can have one with higher beds and a full garage, but even in this version, 2 decent sized doors, folding bikes will certainly go in there easily. You've got tie down hooks, plenty of space for all your normal gear, as long as you're not wanting to carry full size bicycles on board the vehicle. Now, despite the fact that this vehicle is shorter than just about any other fixed single bed motorhome, you've still got quite a comfortable and spacious feel to the front lounge. Part of that is because you've got 2 big sunroofs. Another aspect is that you've got quite an open area because you come in through the door and the lounge has a fair amount of floor space around it. The table pulls out and extends for a 3rd diner or 4th diner, and this vehicle sleeps to a 3rd optional berth from the front lounge, but perhaps is better seen as a 2-person vehicle. Should you get an extra guest come in though, there is a little jump seat there, so you could get 5 around the table for an evening if you had to. Then if it's just the 2 of you watching telly, the TV bracket height adjusts, so it comes down to a nice sensible level for viewing, and if you're carrying rear passengers, those rear head restraints are height adjustable too. Now, you won't get a vast kitchen in a motorhome that has fixed beds in this sort of size, but it all works quite well. Pilote obviously realise, as any experienced motorhomer knows, that drawers are so much better than cupboards. There's plenty of drawer space here. But they've also thought about worktop. Rather than a little flap at the end, it's a slide out unit in front of the 2-burner hob. I like that. Then moving back, we've got a slim tower fridge, and the vehicle's divided with this angle in the floor, which you step up towards the back. The reason for that is then that there's a screen that follows that line, so creating a proper ensuite at the back. So if one of you wants to lie in while the other one's getting up and having breakfast, that works quite well. In the bedroom, storage has been well thought about, with these shallow wardrobes above the foot of each bed and plenty of room for feet underneath. Good drawers under one bed, and at night you'll have plenty of room for books, specs, glass of water, whatever, in this central area. You've also got these shelves too, and there's even a main socket, and of course rear speakers back here too. But the thing I like best is that after dark, if you just want a little read before you go to sleep, what could be better than tip up the support there and just relax? Good use of space is a theme throughout this Pilote, and that carries on in the bathroom, from the tambour door to the swing wall bathroom arrangement. Now just pull the basin round and you've got a decent sized shower. I've used one of these vehicles myself, and you've got no issues at all in any of the bathroom aspects, and I particularly like the fact they use a Dometic toilet. That's a superior quality fitting. So what we have here is a 6.5 metre motorhome with a really comfortable twin bed bedroom. Now, there aren't many of those on the market, and you might think that to get all this into such a small body shell would be a compromise too far. But Pilote somehow have pulled it off, and it really does feel a lot bigger than the dimensions tell you it is. And it's great value too.
Now we're going to go over to Dave Hurrell. He's going to talk us through his tips on buying a motorhome with a fixed bed.
Hi, I'm Dave Hurrell, and I'm here at Marquis Motorhomes Billing near Northampton to help you choose your ideal fixed bed motorhome. There are several very popular layouts and they all offer something different. So let's go and take a look. Fixed bed coach builds are mainly low profiles like this one with no bed above the cab, and they come in 3 basic flavours: Island, French and twin singles. And the first one on our list is the Island bed layout. Let's take a look. With this layout you always get a front lounge, and it's termed the Euro lounge in the trade. It takes advantage of swivelling cab seats, and you always get a forward facing seat which accommodates the fact that this van is a 4-berth. Plenty of room for 5 to sit in here, and the table folds open so you can make the most of the space. But this van has a hidden secret. Above us we've got yet another double bed that drops down. You won't always find this with the Island bed layout, but you'll find it in many. This bed is quite common in modern low profiles, and it is not exclusive to the Island bed layout, but it's really great because it remains tucked up against the ceiling and pulls down to make a nice comfortable double bed whenever you need it. And so to the main event and the main reason to buy. The big advantage with the Island bed layout is the fact that either sleeper has good access and easily get in and out of bed at night. Not all of them, however, have a wall at the foot as this one does, but they almost all mount their washroom facilities either side as you move through into the kitchen area. Separate shower, and on the other side wash basin and toilet. All fixed bed layouts also include a lot of very useful storage in the form of a large locker under the bed. The best of these have a bed that's actually adjustable and can raise and lower, and they can come up high enough to actually produce a full-size garage underneath, which will take scooters or full-size bikes. So the island bed layout, great if you want a comfortable double with good access to both sleepers. Next, it's twin singles. There are two basic variations in this layout, and this is the first one. This places the twin single beds low down with a spacious washroom across the rear, and the whole makes into a really cosy bedroom. The other layout gives you more storage. There's actually plenty of storage under these beds on both sides. The second layout sets the beds in the far rear with a washroom forward, and the advantage here is these beds can be raised, and in some models that gives the opportunity for a full-size garage beneath. Meanwhile, the washroom in here is one of the other advantages of this particular layout. Cosy bedroom, private ensuite facilities, and very spacious. Often you'll find the wardrobe in this particular washroom, and that allows the whole thing to become a changing room as well as an ensuite. Also, you'll almost always find a large separate shower, the kind of thing that you really want to use every day. Up front is pretty much the same layout as the other fixed bed designs. You've got the Euro lounge here with the forward facing travel seats, side seats, and crucially twin belted travel seats, midships kitchen. But you also find in some British vans just twin sofas, but do bear in mind in that situation there's no rear travel seats. This is a 4-berth van, so you really do need them. Some of the vans are only 2 berths, so a twin sofa lounge is fine, as you don't really need the rear travel seats. French bed vans come in all lengths. This one's only 6 metres long, but it manages to pack quite a lot inside, including a cosy lounge, a decent kitchen and a reasonable washroom. In British vans with this layout, you'll often find twin sofas up front, but that means that you don't actually get any rear seat belts. Here, this is a Continental that's actually built in Spain. You get the classic Euro lounge again with the folding adjustable table and belted seats in the rear. This is the classic French bed layout, so you have the kitchen in the middle, the French bed in the rear corner, the washroom alongside, and this is what you'll find in just about every vehicle of this type and layout. Kitchens will vary. In this van, as it's aimed at the British market, it's very well equipped with a microwave, large fridge freezer and a full-size cooker. In some you will only find a hob to cook on and the lack of a microwave. If we look at the bed here, you'll find that also that they vary in height. The higher, the bigger the storage locker underneath, but you won't find one that is mounted high enough to give you a full-size garage like some of the other layouts. The washroom as well is important. Some feature a separate shower, some don't, and the relationship in measurement between the width of the bed and the width of the washroom is important. Wide bed can mean a washroom that's too narrow, a narrow washroom and you have a wider bed. It's vital that you check both measurements and make sure you're comfortable using both the washing facilities and the bed before you decide to buy. So that's the 3 main fixed bed layouts you're going to find in low profile coach builds. Just check that you're going to be comfortable in each. There are issues regarding access to the bed and the amount of storage that's underneath. Once you've done that, try everything out before you sign on the dotted line.
Lovely, more great advice there from Dave. Now it's one of my favourite parts of the DVD. This is where we go over to the studio and have a look at the latest accessories. So let's go over to Duncan Evans and see what he has for us this month.
Welcome to this month's accessory reviews, where we'll be looking at the Sherpa Lifang outdoor wear. That's a nice jacket here, and the Emma Bridgwater Hepburn DAB FM radio, which you can see here. First, let's have a look at the radio. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice about this DAB radio, which is from the Emma Bridgwater brand, and it's called a Hepburn, is obviously the polka dot effect and the fabric all over the radio to make it look like a little handbag. Emma Bridgwater produces lots of different fabrics and textures, all for a kind of classic country house look. and these are the radios that go with that look. So it gives it a very distinctive, if somewhat twee style. Before we get to the functions, let's have a quick look around the back. So on the back there are 3 interfaces. The first one is for charging USB devices, which is quite handy if you're in your motorhome and you don't have that many 240 volt sockets. With the radio plugged in, you can charge your phone or your iPad or other tablet device from that port as you go. And next to that is the 240 volt supply that goes in. And next to that is a jack for plugging your phone or other device straight in and playing music from that through the radio itself. So let's see how it actually works. We've got the power button, turn it on obviously. The source switches between DAB radio and FM, so if you're in a poor signal strength area and you can't get the DAB channels, you can just switch to FM. The pairing's an interesting one because it allows you to use Bluetooth and pair your phone or tablet with the radio and play your music from that device through the radio itself. On this side we have the menu, which allows you to set up all the system parameters, what channels you're going to look at, what the volume's like, how the alarms work. On here we have the actual alarm setting itself, so you can set the time for the alarms. You get 2 alarms. One of the other features is a range of graphic equalizers: pop, classic, jazz, speech, rock, all those affect the sound. And then on either end you've got tuning, volume, and of course there's also the presets button where you can store 30 DAB channels and 30 FM channels as well. And lastly, there's also an Android and Apple app that you can run and remote control the radio from that. So we've had a look at how it works, and what do I think of it? Well, sound-wise, it's okay. It's not the best DAB radio I've actually ever heard, but it's all right, it's okay. List price for this radio is $129.99, but you probably find it cheaper in other online retailers. Really, it's not a bad radio, but it's something of a triumph of style over content. It's something that you want to match with your curtains in your camper van. Function-wise, it's probably a bit, like the design itself, a bit too fussy. There's probably too many knobs, the menus could be clearer. It's a bit fiddly to set up and use. The only thing I can say about the polka dots is that at least it's better than the red rose design, which is also available. Otherwise, it's a reasonable kind of radio. Probably one for the ladies. Now let's have a look at the Sherpa Lethang jacket. This is the Sherpa Lethang jacket, so named after a district of Nepal which is famous for its changeable weather. A portion of the proceeds go back to the villagers in Nepal and help pay for the education of their children. It's available in a range of colours. This one's the royal blue, and it's waterproof and windproof, which is obviously very handy when you're out and about this winter. So now let's have a look at some of the features of this jacket. You've got adjustable Velcro sleeves so that you can tighten those up, keep the rain out, and it's got 2 pockets on the bottom and 2 pockets at chest height. The advantage of the chest pockets is that if you're wearing a backpack and the strap goes across the middle, you can still get at things that you've stored up there, whereas if you were using the lower pockets, you wouldn't be able to access them. And up the top, we have the drawstrings to keep the rain off your face, which is also helped by a stiff peaked hood that pulls down over the top. So that's all about the jacket. Now let's try it on and see how well it fits. So we tried it on, it fits, we've been outside, and it does keep the rain and the cold out. It's very effective at being a windbreaker. It's full of pockets that are easy to access, and it's a really nice jacket if you're serious about walking outside in the winter. It costs a fairly eye-watering £200, but it is good value because it's a very good quality product. So if you're looking for something in this area, it's worth the money. And don't forget, a portion of the proceeds does go to help the villagers back in Nepal. You can get it from a variety of online retailers. That's it for this month. See you next time.
That's it for this month's DVD. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. Thanks also to Pentewan Sands for letting us film here, and to Marcus Leisure. See you again next month.
Warner Shows brings you 9 great events in 8 months across 7 counties. Join us in Newbury for an unforgettable 60s celebration. You can browse vehicles from leading dealers and enjoy exclusive show deals on motorhomes and accessories. Watch 60s favourites the Tremolos, the Merseybeats and the Pacemakers for just £7. Rally with us for 4 nights from only £38. And don't forget the National Park and Holiday Home show will also be on site all weekend. So book in advance today and save £10 on your camping pitch.